Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Turman. I'm a tech savvy lawyer. I studied computers before I went to law school. And so, as a lawyer, I tried to automate the hell out of everything that I did using my computer skills. And a large portion of that was spreadsheets. And so, we're going to talk about those challenges today. Okay, uh, I can show my website. I have a website, automateofficework.com. For anybody in the future, you can feel free to book a call with me and we'll discuss your situation. Or you can come on to a future call like this and we'll discuss your situation in a group discussion. Okay, the next portion, why you should not use Excel. And that is this blog article there that I found. Why you should not use Excel as a database. We always hear about this from our IT people. You should not be using Excel. And well, I found this article that discusses point by point why you should not be using it. I'll hide this. I will accept cookies. Okay, so now we go down here. There are about 7 reasons why you should not be using Excel and why you should be using a database instead. The first one is data formatting. It says Excel formats can cause compatibility problems with other spreadsheet or database programs, even with other versions of Excel itself. It is very common for Excel spreadsheets themselves to give problems with variable formats themselves, such as changing an ordinary number to a date format. Relational databases, as a general rule, have a data model with typed fields, which means that each field of a table belonging to that database has a specific data type, like you can only use text or a number. This facilitates that the data format is homogeneous and we do not have formatting errors. So yeah, if you're using a spreadsheets for your data and then you're using a database, maybe an old Access database, or you're moving to Azure, the modern database from Microsoft, you might find that there's formatting errors between the two, especially because Excel does not constrain the type of data that can go into a column, right? If you might tell it that this should be a date for your user, goes and types in, I don't know, or something, right? You can't stop your users. They can just type in garbage. A database does not allow that. A database, you can only type in the kind of data that you allow your users. Okay, the second point here is storage capacity. Spreadsheets such as Excel have a capacity limit. Okay, so if you're using, it shows here that this capacity limit can cause problems like the one that occurred in the UK. Moving a registration document from CSV to Excel failed to record 15,000 cases of COVID-19. Wow. So yeah, I guess it says it overlooked more than 50,000 potential infections because Excel has a lower limit than the data it was intended to record. Okay, so think about how much data you need to be storing. If it's a very, very small number, maybe Excel works at the beginning. But if it's going to be getting very, very large, you need to be moving and thinking about a database instead. Uh, Number 3 is a performance. Spreadsheets decrease in performance as the volume of data increases. You've probably experienced this yourself. As you use a very large spreadsheet, and especially as you have other people have it open at the same time, it's just a mess. Number 4 is data integrity. In Excel, it is very likely that data can be corrupted or lost. It is common that there are several copies of the same file in the hands of different people. This makes version control difficult. Even if it's on a shared server, there's still the possibility that people may mistakenly overwrite each other's work. This is a big problem, right? You allow everybody to edit your entire spreadsheet, and then people do. They accidentally mess up. Yeah, you can't stop them. And then they deny doing it. I hate that. It wasn't me. And then, like, maybe you don't even have a history log to prove that they did it. And then you're saying, who messed up my stuff? I can't even tell them. And then you're unsure if you did it or somebody else. I'm preaching to the choir here. Number five is actionable data. So let's say that there is a change that you want people to make, and then this would actually trigger some other action to be done, right? Maybe like somebody sets financial risk to high, and that means you want finance to go do something. So if you just change it in the spreadsheet, did finance become aware? Did finance go do what they need to do? You have no idea. There's no way to track this.
Right.
Number six is security. Data security is vital to any organization. We just talked about people coming in and changing any of your stuff. Well, what if you wanted to be able to compartmentalize your data? You have like different countries of data. You have German data, French data, American data, and you want your American people to only see the American data. You don't want them to see the German and the French, right? But in Excel, you can't do that. With the database, you can. Number seven is data analytics capabilities. And this is being able to take your data and being able to perform analysis on it, to be able to see like I guess more like the AI kind of stuff. How you can take your data and really use it to turn it not just keep it as data, but to turn it into knowledge and be able to take it to the next level and really use it. Spreadsheets just aren't going to do it.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, do you have any other things to add to these seven, or does that basically cover it?
That's basically it. It's definitely the ability for random people, to manipulate your stuff. You can embed, obviously malware and ransomware and with macros and things, and it's yeah. So it would be nice to use a database that has strict controls and where people can't manipulate it, and definitely helps.
Yeah, but Excel is the easiest thing to do, right? We all have it. We all know, like, oh, let's just go start up a spreadsheet. My spreadsheet is going to be small. It's just me. And then other departments start hearing about your spreadsheet and they say, we want to do it too. Can you add our 10 columns? And then it just becomes crazy. But we don't think about it from the very beginning. So a database, I'll show what a database looks like. This is a database. It's a very common kind of database that is open source and used on the internet. It's called MySQL, and
Oh,
I
right.
use this to make really complex websites that are driven by databases. And here I'll come back to this version. I've got several tables that are doing different things. I've got a table with my admin log. It's a log of every action that's ever taken on the website. I have a table here. This is all my admins, all my people who can have administrative access. I have a table of people banned from my website because they did things. I've got a table of countries, feedback, reports, stakes, and units. So, like when you are thinking about creating your database, you need to separate it into different tables, and each table is its own. Think about it like if you were to be making a database of like purchases of products on like Amazon, you'd have a table for all the purchases, but then you might have a column in your purchases, like the customer who made the purchase. Well, that customer, you're not going to put all of their details in the purchase table. You're going to make a customer table that is beside the purchases, right? So the purchases table, the customer will be a unique ID number for the customer. And then on your customers table, you'll have the person, their name, the address, maybe their birthday, whatever details. And they're going to have a unique ID number, which is the same between those two tables. So you have to have a unique ID number that connects information from one table to the next table. Okay,
Right.
so you've got your purchases, you've got your customer. You might also have a different table for all of your products. So you see how you're not gonna, like in Excel, we have this problem. People want to put everything on one Excel spreadsheet, and a lot of times you can't. You have to have a one-to-one relationship. You can't have a one-to-many relationship in Excel or in a database. So you always have to think about spreading these out. Okay, I'll show here. We're on the structure here, so I'm going to go to the structure of. Let's go to the structure of maybe a report. I'm going to look at the structure, and this shows all the different columns. I've got a unit type, a unit, the total number, submitted, meeting date, confidence level. But you see here in this type column, it says int 11. That means an integer up to 11 digits. And then the next one, I have text. And the next one is integer 11, another integer. This fifth one, submitted, this is a date time. So it's a timestamp. And this makes it much more powerful than Excel because you can only put in the type of data that it says right here.
Right.
So when it says date time, I can't type in I don't know because the database won't accept that.
Right.
So yeah, this is what a database looks like. It does look like a spreadsheet. Here, I'm going to click on browse, and you can see here it does look quite a bit like a spreadsheet. Okay, I've got rows of all this information. I've got columns of data. So it does look a lot like a spreadsheet. Just it's not. This is a database. Okay, so let's. I'm going to show how this looks like in SharePoint. So I have. I'm going to go to Site Contents, and I call my solution Spreadsheet Killer. I hope that doesn't sound too violent to anybody, but the idea is to kill all the spreadsheets, and we can do it very quickly. So I've got. This is called a document library inside of SharePoint. And a document library is very special. It's both a tree of folders and a database at the same time. I'm going to click into here. So I have some folders and images. I've got some files here. But if I scroll over to the right, you see all these columns. I have jurisdiction, custom ID, fees incurred, which it doesn't apply to any of these items yet. But if I go into folders, and if I go into folder 1, and I go into folder 1 again, now I have a couple of folders, and these are rows on my on my spreadsheet replacement. Okay, and each of these, now you have data in the columns. Okay, so this is how we track the data. But let's say I would also like to upload some files that go along with this. Maybe there are some invoices, maybe there are some emails or some PDFs. If I click into this folder now, I have another folder called Files. And this is where we can actually have files. So it's a tree of folders and a database at the same time, which is beautiful, right? That's another problem with spreadsheets. You can't attach files inside a spreadsheet, or if you do, it's very hard to work with, right?
Yeah.
So when you're working in that way, you think, oh, I'd rather have a tree of folders. Well, a tree of folders also has problems, because what if you have multiple folders where something could go, you know? There's not just a single folder, there's like 5 different ones where it could apply, and you're like, do I upload it to all 5? I don't know.
Right.
So this is a beautiful thing. I'm going to share. Yeah. I have lots of other. They're called lists in SharePoint, and these are come down to my spreadsheet killer. I've got a list of approvals. I've got a list of comments, a list of emails, a list of invoices, a list that's a log of every action that's ever taken. I have a list of subscribers, and I have a list of users. So I've got their user preferences that are all in these lists. If I go into one of these, you're going to see that each one of these has its own columns as well. And maybe if I do hide show or show hide, yeah, you can see all these columns. I've got a matter, an approver, a status, a comment, a signer, position, reason, date canceled, canceled by, apply that. So now you can see, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of data every time that there was an approval that was sent out, because my system sends out approvals just like we want it to. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the actual solution. Here, I'm going to go to the home page of it. Okay, this is a SharePoint page. Even though it looks nothing like a SharePoint page, this is a solution in SharePoint. It is at automateofficework.com/sharepoint.com/site/legal. There are some site pages, and this is a page on a SharePoint. Okay, and it has taken all of my data, and at the very bottom here, this looks just like a normal spreadsheet, but it's not, because you can't just go edit anything. You can only edit the things that you are allowed to. You can only even see the columns you're allowed to. Let's say like we have a column of like finance or legal stuff, and we only want finance or legal to even see it. Maybe it's confidential information, and we don't want the other departments to see it. Well, we know which department the users are in, because we have a list of all the users, and we specify which department they're in and which country that they're in. Okay, and so they only see what they are allowed to see. I have admin privileges, so I see every column, I see every country. I can also click here on this button. This hides fields. So let's say this spreadsheet, for lack of a better term, becomes very, very large, 100 columns from like 20 different departments. That's too much data. I don't want to see all of those, right? So I can come here and I can hide whichever one of these I want to hide. So I'm going to hide financial risk and color. And if I click close, it reloads this page, and I see fewer columns. So the user is allowed to make their preference.
So it's kind of hard to get a real read on, but from what we can see.
Okay, let's talk about the map of this workflow up at the top. Okay, normally in a spreadsheet, you just let anybody do anything. No, that's not how we work. Here we have stages of getting data into this. The very first stage is new matter intake. New matter intake, you have to click on this button. It says plus new. Only certain people have this button. Not everybody, unless you want everybody. But I made it so only an admin like myself can do it. Also, a person who, I call it the initial reviewer. And that is, at least for my legal department, that's the legal person in the country. So the legal person in the Netherlands can come click on this. We can also add other departments. And I'm going to go here onto the settings. I'm going to go to my process. This is how we specify who can submit. We've got only admins. We've got the initial reviewers for that country, which for me, it's my legal people in the country. You also have these things called escalation groups, and these are other departments. So I have a financial reviewer who is indicated in every country, and I have an HR reviewer who's indicated in every country. So I can say, yeah, let's let all these people plus finance. They will be able to. I can also come down here and just say all the viewers. Anybody who can access this can also click on new. So you can customize this however you want. Okay. I'm going to click back to the home page. I'm going to click on new. When I click on new, it doesn't just let me fill out the whole row of data. It's a form. This is a form that somebody has to fill in, and you see the submit button is gray. That's because I haven't filled in everything. And when I'm filling in, I have mostly drop-down menus. I can't just type garbage. And you see that there's an asterisk here, so this is absolutely required. The person cannot click submit. without filling it in. And you see, I've given the training wheels. I've put the barriers here. So you're getting exactly the data that you need. So I'm going to put in comments. I'm going to say test comment. Okay. And I am going to change financial risk to high. All right. And I'm going to submit this. An email goes to the initial reviewer for the country. So my country is the Netherlands. And all right, so I am actually I'm also the initial reviewer. I'm the legal person for the Netherlands, and the page has refreshed. I'm going to receive an email telling me that there is something for me to review, and in that email is a URL that comes directly exactly to this page. So imagine I clicked on the URL. The page just refreshed, and it tells me you have additional approvals required. That's because the financial risk was set to high. And so we'll see that down below. Okay, I come here. This person just gave me a bunch of data. Well, I'm looking it over now. I see they picked red. I see test comment, and they put financial risk is high. And below that, yeah, I'm on the initial review stage. Below that, it tells me approvals, and it tells me this person who is the finance reviewer for the Netherlands, they need to review because financial risk set to high. So it tells me. Okay, and I can send this out for approvals, or I might also say, you know what, I need to send it to this other person at this whatever email address. I'm going to click on this approver. I'm going to put in what their position is, something, and I'm going to give them the reason because they need to know, like, why am I looking at this? And so you see, we can do ad hoc reviews. Whatever I think, like maybe I think tax needs to look at this. So let's put them in. Right? I'm going to actually replace this person or just take them away. I'm going to send it out for approvals. And it is myself. So when this is refreshed, it's going to say, welcome, you're now in the approval stage. Please review the details below and approve when ready. So I can review this. By default, it's read only. But I'm also an admin, so I can always click on the edit tab at any time. And since I'm a global admin, I can change any of this. If I was only a finance reviewer, I would only be able to change this finance data, this financial risk, because finance can always edit its own stuff. And I'll show you in the settings where we indicated that finance can always edit finance stuff. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. I've got an approve button, and it tells me what position I'm reviewing this in and why, and I can review or reject. And I'm going to say, looks good. When I submit this, it's going to check, am I the very last reviewer? If I am the very last reviewer, it goes back. Now it's in final review stage. It goes back to the initial reviewer, which was our legal person, because they need to review this. What did these approvers say? Right? Maybe I said something in the comment like, Treasury or tax should also review this. So I need to take that step. I can always add them as another email that needs to be approving, and it would go back into the approval stage. And once all the approvals are done, then it comes back to me for final approval. So you see there's a dance going back and forth until we're all done. And now if I'm good with this, I can click on give final approval. I'm going to do that. It's saving it. And now it's at the very last stage. Matter is tracked. This is now on the spreadsheet for everybody to see. If there's ever anything that needs to be changed, we can always click on edit, make the changes. Like even changing this from low to high, it'll trigger finance to review it again. And finance will come look at it and make a record that they looked at it. Okay, finance can always come and change their finance stuff. A viewer can only view. If they do have something that they know about that needs to be told to everybody, there's a comments section right here. They can say, this needs help, or whatever they're able to do, and then they click on comment. An email goes to everybody who is subscribed. Anybody who's interested in this can add their email here. Like, hey, if something changes for this row, I want to know. Beautiful, right? You can know when somebody changes something.
I that's the best part.
So there's a list of subscribers. You can add your boss to this. If your boss wants to be aware of this, add them. Every one of these emails says at the bottom, you are receiving this because you're subscribed. If you want to stop receiving these emails, go to this URL and just click the X next to your name. You will stop receiving the emails. It's whatever you want.
That's
Below
great.
this, I have an invoices section, because if we're tracking like law firms or vendors or whatever, people can add an invoice. I'm going to put in the date of the invoice. I'm going to put in the amount, 300. By the way, this is for the Netherlands, so we have the currency is already in euros. And I'm
Mhm.
going to say whatever, and I'm going to upload a PDF. PDF. Hopefully I can get a good, okay, there's a test PDF. I'm going to submit that. All right, and then in my files, I think it's because we're recording. It's taking a little bit for SharePoint to upload the file. Oh, there it is. Oh, I was looking in the files section. It's in the invoices. Okay, so now we've got an invoice, and we've got a total of 300 euros. So it calculates this as it's going, and you can see it if I go to the home screen. There is a fees incurred column. I think I hit it. Fees to date. Where is that? Oh, here it is, fees to date. So yeah, I've got it right there, euro 300. I also set it so this platform, its base currency is in euros. So if we have another country that is not in euros, say like the UK is British pounds or America is dollars, it would say the local currency, but then in parentheses, it converts the money immediately. And we have all the currency calculations are updated twice a day. So we have it within 12 hours. So it does all the calculations for you. It's beautiful. Um, okay, maybe let's go back to this one. We also have a section for just files. Any files you want to upload, you can upload them here. Anybody can see them. Below this, we have the log. This is everything that has changed in this at all. So here is when I first submitted the intake form, and I can click on here and I can see exactly what it looked like. This is exactly what it looked like. And then I came and I sent it out for approvals to this person, and this is what it looks like when I sent it out. Because remember, the legal reviewer could have made changes, right? So you might want to see the difference. What was the difference? Okay, and then somebody came and approved it and said it looks good. And then this is what it looks like when I gave the final approval. Now if I come and change, if I click on edit and I want to change the color from red to blue and I click on save, it's going to add that. It's going to notify all the subscribers that there was a change, and it puts it down here. Justin, edited details, color is now blue. So you have a history of every change.
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Oh, okay, come back here. You can do filters on this homepage. You can say anything that is a multiple choice. Like of course the comments are not multiple choice, so you're not going to be able to filter off of them. But anything else like the phase we're in and the jurisdiction. Also, if I unhide these other columns like color and financial risk, then we'll be able to filter off of those too. All right, so I could say, yeah, filter. I might want to say I only want to filter off of financial risk, only show me the things that are high. There we go. I can also download this as a spreadsheet. So if you really want a spreadsheet, you click on this and it downloads only the data that you see. So all the columns that you hid, they will be hidden. All the things that you filtered will still be filtered. And I can then open this, and it is a spreadsheet if you really want.
You have to download it as a spreadsheet in order to print it out, right?
I guess you could print out the screen. You could print
Okay.
it out like this, right? But I've also had people who they want to take all this data and put it through Power BI to make a dashboard or something. And the comments, I'm not an expert in Power BI myself, so I rely on the people who really know Power BI. But they say that SharePoint is the perfect place to keep any kind of data. So they've been able to take all of my data and make any kind of dashboard that you want. So now that you see that like even the history of things that have changed, you might want a certain report, like show me the changes in the last month, right? You can get that out of here.
Yeah. That's great.
I also had a person request. They said, "What if I want finance to come the 15th of every month, and I want them to make changes if there are any changes, or not? But I want them to receive an email the 15th of every month." So we set that up. There's a tool inside Microsoft called Power Automate, and we made it. It would look up like the finance of every country, get that list of people, and it sent them an automated email. If you're not doing automation, those are manual emails, right?
Yes.
Stop doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just work with intention in how you're doing stuff. Um, I also have this settings page where you can change everything. So this is my users. This is all the people. You can indicate the admins and you can indicate the viewers. I'm an admin by default. And these are all the notification emails I will receive when any matter is submitted. If I want to be notified, I just check this. Okay, I'll receive an email. If I want to receive an email every time approvals are sent out, whenever approvals are all received, whenever the matter is completely done and tracked, and then this is any changes in the future after that. And then this last one is when there's a comment made. I can subscribe to receive notifications. And then this very last column, this little clock, it means don't send me individual emails, group them all in one and send me a single email per day. Isn't that beautiful? Because people hate being flooded with emails. So
Yeah.
let them say, I only want to get one email. Okay.
That's great.
Under my viewers, remember I said you have to indicate their country and their department. So I've got this person and I can say which country they should be seeing. Okay, they're only going to see Netherlands stuff. You can also say their department. They're going to be in tax. And then they also can come here and they can subscribe to whatever. And they will only receive these not for all the countries, but only for the Netherlands. So, and they can also say, just send me one email per day. If I go to the fields, this is our form that they have to fill in. I don't know if you remember, but there was a large title at the top. It said general questions. So you can split into different sections. Like here's general, here's finance, here's legal, here's marketing, here's whatever. You can put sections. You can give them a paragraph of something to read, and then these are all the different columns. And you can rename things. This is jurisdiction. You tell them what to do. Let's come down to the color. Okay, the color, we can restrict the visibility. And I can say which departments can see this column. So if I want only tax can see the color, okay, now only tax can see this column. So you can restrict it. You can also escalate. So I said escalate, and we're going to choose a department. So finance is going to have to give approval. If we escalate this, I'm going to add it. And then you say, what are the values that are escalated? We're going to say, okay, if it's green, then finance has to review this. If it's yellow, they also have to review this. So see how easy this is?
It's great.
Here's all
You
my...
build all this?
I did.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
And I thought, this could kill every single spreadsheet.
Yes.
Okay, I
Are
can
you
also...
selling it?
I'm going to sell it through the Microsoft Store.
Okay.
Make it available
Great.
for everybody.
Yeah. Awesome.
I've also asked a couple of people to be my beta testers. I want this to be so simple that they should be able to do it with very little training. Okay, there's several different data types that we're taking. I did a paragraph and a section up at the top. These are a drop-down menu is called Select. Multi-line is where you can add like lots and lots of text, many lines of text. There's a single line of text somewhere. There's a date. There's money, and there's an email. The email we can connect to like your Outlook address book. So as you're typing, it might predict. So even there, we don't want just garbage from people, right? We want to get real data. I'll come back to the very top. These are my jurisdictions. Here are the escalation groups that we have. If you want to add another one, you just go here. You say like tax reviewer, add that. They come down here. You can make one of these escalation groups mandatory. So you might say, so see here how the initial reviewer has to review every single one. You could also say, yeah, let's just get finance to review every single thing. You can check that button. And then here are the different columns that they are allowed. Remember I said like let's let finance always edit the finance things. So there's financial risk. I add that. There we go. Finance can always edit that. Here is my base currency for the entire system. There's like every currency in the world here, but I picked euros. And then below here, this is my list of countries, or as I call it, jurisdictions, because this tool could be used in many different ways. However you slice the different categories of data, it might be countries, or for some people it might be states, or something else. I don't know, a region, like the Southwest and the West. I don't know. But I can add a jurisdiction. I can go with UK, and then it asks, what is your currency? And I can go and pick that. I think it was GBP or something. British pound. Where can I find this? Yeah, I'm kind of lost. GBP. There it is. UK pound sterling. Okay, so that's their currency. And then you have to type in the initial reviewer. And you can do multiple people also. You can separate it by commas, spaces, or semicolons, and you can do multiple email addresses. But we need a person indicated for all of these departments. Okay. I've also got, yeah, I showed you the process a little bit. This is where you do this. Emails. This is the system emails. You can have a beautiful banner in every email, and you can upload a new one, so it's really easy. And then these are the messages that come from the system. When a matter is submitted, oh, it says undefined for some reason. It should say Spreadsheet Killer, matter submitted, and then it'll give the unique ID in the email. And it says this person, it replaces the word email with the actual email address. Submitted a new matter. You can view this matter at, and then it replaces the real URL. But yeah, you can customize all these things. And then lastly, I created a style page. Okay, and that is you can change the name of this. Instead of calling it Spreadsheet Killer like that, you can say Data Tracker. That's a much more friendly name, less violent. When I click away from that, now it says Data Tracker up there. You can change the size of that up there if you want to. You can change the little icon. You can upload a new logo if you want to, or you can just change the logo. So there. You can also change the color. I was really proud of this. You can change the color to whatever you want. So like, let's make it purple. You can also change the color of the text between black and white. If you have a color like yellow, it might be better to have it black instead of white. Or you might say, yeah, white works. I also have it by default, it removes the SharePoint banner. And if you want to see what the SharePoint banner looks like, that's this. That's this ugly stuff that everybody hates. I put in a box just to remove that. There we go. Okay, and now if I click Save, and now if I go back to the home page, there, it's beautiful. It's in whatever color and style you want. So you can customize this.
This is actually better than a lot of the matter management solutions from the big software companies. I gotta say, I've done some demos and I asked, how are we going to automate some workflows? And I had them like run through how their system does it, and it was disappointing, really. So this would be so much better. I
So
mean,
I actually built this for a client. They asked me, can you help us with our spreadsheet where we track litigation worldwide? And I said, guys, we're not improving a spread. We're going to get rid of your spreadsheet. We're going to make this a database. But
yeah,
then as I built it, I thought to myself, this isn't just litigation. This is every spreadsheet that's out there.
yeah,
And
that's
I
great.
also have to say, your process specifically might have an extra step in there or something that you always do. This solution is very general. If you did say, like, yeah, this is going to be a litigation tracker, it's a manner management, and we want the law firm to be able to come submit their own invoice. Yeah, you see how that's a little bit, it's an extension of this, but you start with what we have, and then you can add on features that you would need.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. I'm really very impressed, Justin.
Thank you. Yeah, I built this in SharePoint, and everybody has the access to do this. It's just you have to figure out how to do it, and you have to
Yeah.
have the determination.
Yeah. I would like to just piggyback off your effort.
Well, I would be happy to. Yeah. So you said you
Thank
have
you.
a matter management spreadsheet.
Yeah, so I have tried to use different the big companies. I'm not going to name which ones
The
because
ones we
we're
all know.
recording, but yeah. So I've tried to get workflow. Like there's checklists for different processes and process maps and stuff, and when you try to automate those in like one of these systems, they're just very clunky because they're trying to do too many things, really. And I think this solution that you have is more customizable to the specific need. So because you can go in there and obviously code different um, I guess, files for different data, and you can't really go and change it or corrupt it. It makes it a lot easier to use and track and assign people tasks, like you mentioned, and integrate it with your Outlook. And because it's sitting in Microsoft, we're all using Microsoft anyway. That's great. And if you could get the Copilot to go and like find things in there, that would be fantastic too. Like the next step
Yeah.
is getting a bot in there and digging things out so you don't have to go searching around for it. um, I could see where that would really take off.
Yeah. Yeah. I was listening to a podcast recently about Copilot,
Hmm.
and they said that the biggest source of data for Copilot is SharePoint.
Yeah,
It's the best
yeah,
place to put data for Copilot.
yeah. Well, Microsoft is really doing a pretty good job at integrating all of their systems together. So it's I really see that they're going to have, especially because you can customize things like what you just did. If you know what you're doing and you have the time to go and build something like that, then your ability to use Copilot and access the data that's in there it'll save so much time, rather than having people manually input all this stuff and then looking for it manually and then like analyzing it manually, like everything, all of that is just such a waste of time. So
Uh-huh.
this
And,
is
and
this is
this is so
great.
much better than a spreadsheet. If you were to
Yeah.
point AI at a spreadsheet and just be like, hey, AI, how can we make our process better? The AI is going to be like, I have no idea what the history of anything here. It's all I'm seeing is a
Right, there's
snapshot.
no context, there's just
There's
no
nothing here.
context.
Who did what at what time and in what order? The spreadsheet doesn't tell you.
Yeah, yeah, this is fantastic. Well, I will be one of your clients for this thing. So this the spreadsheet killer slash data tracker.
Oh, beautiful. And I'm sure you have lots and lots of spreadsheets, and your clients.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess we do have another 10 minutes if you want to stay on. Do you have any other scenarios you want to be talking through,
I do not.
my friend?
I have a meeting to go to, so
Okay.
I'm going to sign off. But Justin, I would really like if you could speak again on this. I think this is a great product that you have. Thank
All
you
right.
so much for sharing your time and educating me about it.
Okay. My pleasure. Talk soon.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right. Well, thanks everyone. And I'm going to sign off too. And I hope you enjoy this content and that you can get some benefit from this. And we'll talk soon.